Aloha. My name is Kayo Malik. Hi. And I live in Maui, Hawaii. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist, and I'm here to share with you some tools in the context of Chinese medicine, how we can support our wellness through spring and all of the seasons, but particularly during the spring. Because in Chinese medicine, we place great importance on aligning ourselves with the rhythms of nature and living a natural lifestyle, right? So it's really important to adjust your lifestyle, your diet, your activities to the particular season. And that also means that we will be using different foods, herbs, essential oils, and supplements during a particular season. So I wanted to give you a little overview of the way we look at spring first, and then I'll dive more into the details as to what we can do to stay healthy. So every season is associated with an element, and we're now in spring. It's springtime, and that is the wood element. So during the spring, we want to support that element within our body. So what is the wood element? If you think of a tree, you can see that in the springtime, in the winter, it's dormant, right? And the leaves are gone. The energy is like in the earth. And in the springtime, this energy, this yang starts to rise. It's like a time of new beginnings, an uprising of yang, we call it, after the yin time of winter. So we see this upward movement in the tree, in the wood. The leaves are coming out, the branches are growing, plants are growing in general. So that's also sort of the energy that we want to support and manifest in our daily lives, because our bodies are a microcosm of the universe. And in order to be optimally healthy throughout the year, it's important to adjust ourselves to the energetic influences from nature and the seasons and the weather and so on. So during the springtime, it's a time to get up earlier. You know, we sleep more during the yin time of the winter, but during the spring, we want to rise earlier. We want to walk more, take brisk walks. That's really good to kind of get your chi, your energy flowing and moving. In many parts of the US, I mean, it's green in Hawaii year round, but in the places where you've experienced snowy winters, green is the predominant color during the spring, right? And green is also the color associated with the wood element. So, and seeing the sight of green with your eyes, actually, we say that it nourishes your soul through the eyes. And it's especially cleansing to the liver and gallbladder because those meridians end, or specifically the liver meridian ends in the eyes. And why is that significant during spring? Because the wood element is also associated with two meridians, the liver and the gallbladder meridian. The liver being the more important one, the yin meridian, and then the gallbladder would be the kind of the pairing meridian, the yang meridian. So those two meridians are the ones that and organ systems that go along with the meridians are the ones that we want to attend to, particularly during the springtime, because that's when they're most active, they're most susceptible to treatment and to support, but also most likely to go out of balance. And I'll explain a little bit more what that means. Well, I'll just give you a quick overview of the way we look at the liver organ system and liver meridian in traditional Chinese medicine. It's a little bit different from Western physiology. The liver in TCM, we say that it stores and purifies the blood. Well, that makes sense, right? Because, I mean, in physiology, that's what the liver also does. But then it has a lot of other important functions. One is that it controls the free flow of chi, of energy and blood through the body and the mind. So proper circulation of the blood and fluids depends on the health of the liver meridian. And also emotional balance has a lot to do with the health of the liver meridian, because the liver also controls the flow of emotions. When we get stressed, our liver chi becomes stuck. The energy of our liver, we call that liver chi stagnation. It becomes stagnant, and that can cause a whole lot of other problems in the body. Emotionally, stuck liver chi will manifest as anger, frustration, or even depression. The virtue, those are the pathological emotions that I just mentioned. The virtue of the liver, balanced liver chi, or the positive emotion that can help balance the pathological emotions would be benevolence and forgiveness. So those are things to keep in mind also for our emotional well-being. During the springtime, it's a good time to address any anger or frustration or depression that we might be feeling by supporting the liver meridian. And there's lots of ways that we can do that. One of them is movement. Movement is very important to move energy, right, in general, and to move the liver chi. But another great tool are essential oils, and particularly essential oils that, what we say, enter the liver meridian. So all herbs, including essential oils, they're herbal substances, right, enter specific meridians from the point of view of Chinese medicine. That simply means that they treat those meridians, or, they have an affinity with them. So I'm going to talk about a couple of single oils that I love for their ability to treat the liver organ system and the liver meridian and the wood element in our body. So the first one is bergamot. I mean, it's just such an amazing, refreshing scent, right? It's a citrus, and actually it's what flavors Earl Grey tea. And it also comes as a vitality oil, so you can also use it internally. It's also wonderful aromatically and for topical application, but just remember that it's a citrus oil, and all citrus oils can cause photosensitivity, can make your skin burn more easily for a day or two after you apply it to the skin. So just be aware of that. But this is an essential oil that is really balancing and harmonizing to the liver chi. We say in Chinese medicine that bergamot essential oil regulates the flow of liver chi. It balances it, it moves it. It's really good for that liver chi stagnation that I was talking about. And especially something that we call Shaoyang syndrome, that is part of a pattern of disharmony of the liver meridian. It's when symptoms come and go, or mood swings, like being elated and then depressed, or irritable and frustrated and then happy, or just not being even in your moods, or even emotional or mental confusion. We consider that a Shaoyang syndrome, or bouts of depression. And for that purpose, aromatic use would be good, because when you inhale the essential oil, that's when it primarily addresses the brain and the nervous system and the limbic system of the brain, which is the seat of our emotions, right? But another thing that you can do with essential oils is to apply them to specific acupuncture points. And what I love to do with bergamot, to move that liver chi and for emotional stability, or if I'm feeling frustrated or depressed or angry, or just, I'm having mood swings, I will take some bergamot and put a little bit on each of my fingertips, and then place my fingertip on this little indentation, the auricular fossa, it's called, the superior auricular fossa. It's a little indentation in the top third of your ear. It's really easy to find. Your finger will just slide right into it. There are some really important points for the emotions in that acupuncture point. One of them is called Shen Men, called a calm spirit. And you just hold your fingertips gently with the bergamot on them, gently onto that acupuncture point for maybe a minute or two, and just kind of practice a little bit of mindful breathing until you will feel a pulsation in your fingertips, and you might even feel inclined to take a deep breath, or a sigh will come out, and you can really feel how it will just help soothe and balance your emotions. And it does that by moving the chi in the liver meridian. So that's one way that you could use bergamot. And of course, it's also wonderful in the diffuser. I have it in my diffuser right now. It's a bergamot, because of its effect on the liver chi, is also really good for negative thinking and for promoting optimism, is also uplifting because it's a citrus oil, right? And it can set the stage for emotional transformation. It's a really helpful essential oil to use when you're working on emotional transformation. And, you know, spring is a huge time of transformation, and especially now with the eclipse coming up, and there's a lot of things happening with the planets too that, you know, are setting the stage for huge transformation. So bergamot would be a really good support during that time. It's also helpful for people who are battling addictions, because it helps with breaking bad habits by moving that chi. So if you're working on breaking a bad habit, bergamot could be a good ally there. And so again, from the point of view of Chinese medicine, we say that bergamot essential oils also has an affinity with it also actually enters the spleen and stomach meridians, which is the gut, the digestive system. And there's a direct relationship between the liver meridian and the gut. When that chi in the liver meridian gets stuck, we say that it overacts, it kind of spills over onto the spleen and stomach, onto the digestive system. Well, what does that look like? Have you ever experienced like getting an upset stomach, or even diarrhea, or, you know, just having a digestive disturbance when you're stressed? That's because of the liver chi stagnation overacting onto the spleen and stomach. So bergamot essential oil is also helpful for that. So for all stress-related disorders of especially the upper GI tract, so the stomach, but also the intestines and also the gallbladder. Remember I said the liver and gallbladder meridian are paired. So for that purpose, you could use the bergamot essential oil topically right on the stomach, or, you know, abdominal area, or right over the liver and gallbladder, which is on the right side, the right upper quadrant, which is like, you know, on the ribs here, right below your breast. So it will help with all types of digestive disturbances. And the last thing that we use bergamot essential oil for is for damp heat in the liver and gallbladder meridian. Damp heat in the liver and gallbladder meridian can manifest as shingles or herpes. And for that purpose, you could apply it topically. It's good for oily skin in general, but remember that it has, you know, the photosensitivity, that it can create that for a little bit after you apply it to the skin. So if you're putting it on the face, definitely be wearing good sunscreen afterwards as well. So that's bergamot. Another favorite essential oil to support the liver meridian and the wood element is geranium. Geranium again enters the liver meridian. We say that it nourishes the liver blood and regulates menstruation and menopause. The liver meridian actually helps regulate menstruation from the point of view of Chinese medicine, because it goes to the uterus. And, you know, again, stress, when liver chi gets stagnated by stress, it can also lead to menstrual irregularities and, you know, even PMS and cramps and things like that. So even with acupuncture, when I'm treating any of those kind of menstrual disorders, I always treat the liver meridian. So for that purpose, you could use geranium essential oil, and you could even put it right over the uterus. You know, if you have cramps, or it's also good for irregular periods, or because it nourishes the liver blood. It's good for lack of periods due to what we call a liver blood deficiency, which could be anemia or another mineral deficiency in the blood. And also can help with the emotional kind of symptoms of PMS and you know, emotional symptoms associated with menstruation. For that purpose, you might want to use it aromatically. And another place, good place to put geranium essential oil, other than topically over the uterus, would be on an acupuncture point again. And for geranium, I would choose liver 3. And that acupuncture point is located right between, on the top of the foot. I'm going to show you this. I hope you can see this. Between the big toe and the second toe, in that soft area. And maybe I'll put this in this graphic in the comments later so you can see. And that's the UN source point of the liver meridian, meaning it goes to the source chi, the deepest source of energy that feeds into the liver meridian and the liver organ system and supports it that way. And it helps move the chi. It also nourishes the liver and the liver blood, and it's a good place to apply essential oils that, you know, when you're treating the liver or the liver meridian. That would be liver 3. Another function of geranium is that by nourishing the liver blood, it also strengthens the shen, because we say that the quality of the blood houses the shen. So that's Chinese medicine thinking. You know, the shen is the spirit. So poor concentration or poor motivation, sadness, depression, pessimism, or especially chronic anger with depression, all of those kinds of emotions you could use geranium for, because of its kind of nourishing and supportive. It's a deeply supportive and nurturing aroma, and especially for the liver, meridian, and organ system. So the key words for geranium would be emotional balance, stability, and calm for the emotions. It's also wonderful in the diffuser, of course. And another little tidbit about geranium, because liver and gallbladder are paired, right, in Chinese medicine. Physiologically, this is now not Chinese medicine, but if you apply it over the gallbladder and over the bile duct, which again is on the right side, on the right rib cage here, it helps to relax and open the bile duct. So if you're having any issues with the gallbladder, it could be helpful in that sense. So those are two of my favorite essential oils to use during the wood season, the season of spring. And of course, we also have Release. I'm not going to go into detail. You can look in your app or your reference guide. Release is a blend specifically for the liver and also specifically for the unhealthy emotions that can be associated with an imbalance in the liver. So again, anger, frustration, depression, and the instructions, one of the instructions for Release includes applying it over the liver. And then of course you want to take some deep breaths and breathe it in. So Release would be also an amazing essential oil to use in the diffuser or topically, and especially aromatically during the season of spring, to kind of help support also the cleansing of the liver meridian. You know, spring is a really good time to cleanse, and specifically the liver and gallbladder. And Young Living also offers Juva Flex and Juva Cleanse and GLF. Those are 3 essential oil blends, Juva Flex and Juva Cleanse. They also come as vitality oils, so they can also be taken internally, are specifically used for supporting and cleansing the liver meridian. GLF is more for the gallbladder. And anything that has Juva in front of it, Juvatone tablets and Juva Power powder are supplements that you could take, especially now during the spring, to support your liver. Like I said, it's a good time to focus on those organ systems. They're most receptive this time of the year. So if you're thinking about doing a liver cleanse, this would be a good time to do it, or to just take some supplements and use some oils to support the liver. And I do have to give a shout out to Ningxia Red, because I drink it every day. But if you don't drink it every day, I would highly recommend that you drink it at least throughout spring. You know, to really affect healing in an organ or deeper healing, you often have to use oils or herbs or supplements and diet, lifestyle for more than just a week or two, right? A season is a good time, 2 to 3 months minimum, to really get to the deeper levels. And Ningxia Red, is a tonic. It's meant for long-term use. So the longer you drink it, the deeper the effects are going to go. But the bulk of what makes up Ningxia Red is organic goji berry puree. Goji berry is called gochidze in Chinese medicine. And we've been using it for thousands of years in our materia medica, in herbal formulas. And I'll just tell you what gochidze does specifically for the liver. So it's in the category of tonifying, strengthening and nourishing herbs. It tonifies the blood and the yin, and even tonifies the yang a little bit. So all of the important energies in the body and substances. So it effectively nourishes different parts of the body without creating that stagnation or blockage. It's really excellent for what we call deficient patients who need building up tonics over a long period of time. And we consider it an anti-aging tonic. And it enters the goji berries enter the liver meridian, okay? And in that respect, gochidze nourishes and tonifies the liver. It's really great for what we call liver blood deficiency. It has an incredibly high iron and mineral content and helps nourish the blood of the liver. Liver blood deficiency can manifest as fatigue and weakness, even dizziness, easy bruising, dream-disturbed sleep, menstrual irregularities, especially scanty menstruation, even anxiety or anemia. All those could be symptoms of liver blood deficiency. And remember, the liver meridian ends in the eyes. We say that gochidze benefits the essence and brightens the eyes. So we also know that it contains lutein and a lot of nutrients that are beneficial to the eyes. But in Chinese medicine, we say that it's the liver, nourishing the liver blood and the liver meridian is what brightens the eyes. That's how gochidze brightens the eyes. So drink your ningxia during the spring. Use your wood element oils and support the health of your liver and your gallbladder. And I wish you abundant health and aloha. And I hope to see you sometime during the summer. I'll jump in and talk about summer wellness. Aloha. Thank you.